Hello, family and friends. Welcome to another episode on Site. Today, I'm going to be calling out on Nigerian students because I want to say something. Greatest Nigerian students of the greatest Bobo, of the greatest Bagba. I want to yarn. I want to gyrate. I want to inform. I want to psycho-educate. So I'm sorry if you are not Nigerian and you're listening to this. That intro was specifically for Nigerian students. So it is common for us when we're trying to get the attention of students in the classroom to shout greatest Nigerian students and they will reply. And then you can shout a lot of greatest other things. And when there's a response, you know that these people want to listen to what you have to say. So yes, what I have to say is there's free therapy in uni. I bet you didn't know. Now you do. So I'm going to share some parts of my mental health story. Just parts of it. This is not the full episode for that, but this is just parts of it because I want to explain to you free therapy. So in my university, we have access to the Psychological Service Center, like I said earlier. And I didn't even know this till I got admitted into the psychology department, and I knew that we have a psychological services center and there are licensed counselors and therapists there ready, willing and waiting for students. So in my second year, first semester, I was struggling with anxiety. I was feeling some type of way and I couldn't identify it. And this was after exams, which is quite ironic because shouldn't you be struggling with anxiety and feeling those feels right before exam? No. Have you heard of functional anxiety? That was what I was running on. And surprisingly, my results from my second year, first semester, was one of my best results. So I sailed through the exam period without feeling any type of way. I mean, I read, I studied, and I performed. But on the last day of my exams, I didn't know how I was feeling. And so I checked myself into the clinic because the clinic is 24/7, but the psychological service center is not. And so I couldn't go to the psychological service center. I was living on campus. So I walked that night and I checked myself in and I wasn't presenting with any physical symptoms. I had even called a suicide response unit from the main general hospital in my city. And so I checked myself into the hostel clinic and I honestly didn't know how I was feeling. So after that whole episode, we were referred, we got proper help and treatment. Moving on, I was dealing with anxiety and I would have panic attacks and palpitations. There was even one time I went to the market and I had a near blackout situation. And so I went to the psychological services center and spoke with the therapist about it. Now, the point of going to the psychological services center, like I said, I was a psychology student. I was excited about mental health. So I kind of knew how these things went. I wasn't expecting them to come up with a magical solution. I knew that I'd have to talk things through. And I knew that therapy is not like a drug that you just take and then you feel better. So I was talking through the whole situation with a therapist. And I won't say that we had a solution per se, but like I kept going back to see. And then I even realized from the sessions we had what triggered me to be anxious. And so when I realized this, that was progress to me because previously I could hardly identify what these symptoms were and I didn't know what I was feeling. But after some sessions, I could identify what anxiety symptoms I had, and I could also be aware of situations that, predispose me to having a panic attack or being anxious. And so when I realized that from the sessions that we had, it made it easier for me to, be able to develop some skills. And also for me, I had a lot of things going on. And so that made me very anxious. So I had to cut down on some of the things I was involved with. And that helped a long way. We are very fortunate to even have lecturers that are therapists, and they were so supportive because for my level coordinator, that's the lecturer in charge of my results and my course mates' results and all of that, was very supportive. Also, I had support from my family members. They now became aware because of the episode that I had. So they were better positioned to identify when, I was having these symptoms. And I won't forget one time I was beginning to exhibit depressive symptoms. And my mother was able to call me out. She said, everything good? I'm seeing this and this and this. So what's up? I didn't even know. So you see, psychoeducation really went a long way. And then for my best friend, we were in a long distance relationship at the time. So I would always text and call and I'd tell her what's up. And because of how open and honest I was about my symptoms, she was also able to identify what my anxiety symptoms were. So when I'm feeling some type of way and I can't gauge myself properly and I share with her to remind me these are anxiety symptoms. I mean, for somebody that is studying psychology and is passionate about mental health, you should know, right? But then we don't always know. Shout out to my best friend for keeping me grounded most of the time. Yes, it is important, like I'd mentioned in the other episode, concerning having family and friends around you that know what these symptoms are and they can identify them so that you can, take the next step forward. Check your uni. If you have a psychological services center or if you have a facility that offers therapy or counseling services, then I believe you should take advantage of it, honestly. I mean, do you know what it is to be enjoying free therapy from second year up to my final year? I mean, having knowledge of this is just bliss. Because do you know how expensive therapy is? I heard one time, I don't know what the equivalent of this is in dollars or pounds or other currencies. But there was one time I heard for one session, 10,000 naira to 13,000 naira. So you do the math. Therapy is quite expensive. And as students, you should really check out the Psychological Service Center. There are male therapists, there are female therapists and counselors, and you have access to them during work hours, of course. There's no overnight check-in. So you should do that. And if you are a Nigerian student listening from Sokoto, from Borno, from Cross River, from Delta, from Benue, you should check out if you have that service offered in your school, if you have a facility that caters to those needs for students, and you should take advantage of it. Now, you don't have to be in a fix to see a therapist. Like I said in the previous episode, some people think that if it ain't broke, don't fix it. But still, on the other hand, if it ain't broke, you gotta maintain it. So yes, you have to maintain your mental health. If you don't know what is happening, I mean, most of the time for Nigerian students, we barely know what is happening. We just wake up one morning and it is this and this press release and this press release, and we have to keep up. It is hard trying to keep up. That is an extreme sport. Keeping up in a Nigerian university, tell me about it. So yeah, you should take advantage of that. Sometimes you just need to be able to process your emotions and your feels, and that's what therapists and counselors are there for. They can help you get through the motion. That makes your life easier. If you're having difficulty adjusting to campus life, or even if you think you can rough it, you're the greatest bobo, of course, but greatest bobo with poor mental health. That's a terrible combination. So counselors and therapists are there to help you go through the whole process. You don't have to go at it alone. Like I said, even if you think you can, you still need help. Trust me. So this one is mostly for jam bites, in quotes. That's first year students. It's a new environment. You might be trying to struggle with, okay, what is demanded of me? What is required of me? All of that processing. You can go through your whole day and, imagine how wonderful it will be that you go through your whole day, go through all that stress. Sometimes it will be more stressful than others, and then being able to process it, being able to find a pattern, it will go a long way in helping you adjust to campus life. So yes, moving on, adjusting to campus life. That is a combination of skills that everybody needs. Trust me, it has to do with you prioritizing, coping skills, emotional intelligence. The list is endless. And understand that going to uni, there's this sense of freedom that we have. I mean, for those of us that were boarders, leaving secondary school to the outer world, like our teachers would say, it's just like you can do anything you want whenever you want. Most of the time, you can decide to not go to class today. You actually have that power to decide by yourself. I mean, that's pretty much awesome, and it can be overwhelming because there's also responsibilities. You have to think for yourself. You have to think about, what am I going to eat? How am I going to plan my day? So, time management is also very important. And like I said, when it comes to adjusting to campus life, there's also the normal stresses of life, and then there's when stress is something else. It is almost always something else for uni students in Nigeria, I can bet you. And when you begin to lose the ability to cope with those stresses, your mental health begins to deteriorate. Most of the prevalent mental health issues on campus are stress, both academic and mental stress, identity crisis, anxiety and depression. Like I said, the list is endless. And you need to know that you have a trusted person to get you through the motions. Now, are Nigerian students actually getting the support and help that they need when it comes to their mental health? I would think not, honestly. So there's an estimated 60 million people in Nigeria that suffer from mental health illnesses, but only 10% of these people have actual access to professional assistance. And this is due to the shortage that we have of mental health practitioners. And then, of course, I said it before, high cost of mental therapy. Therapy is expensive in Nigeria. Not many people have access to it. For students, it's part of your health insurance if you don't know. Now you do. Also, a UNICEF report showed that 1 in 6 Nigerians between the ages of 15 and 24 often feel depressed. So you see, that is the age bracket of people in uni. I know there are older people in uni. And then remember where I had said in the previous episode how symptoms of mental health illnesses begin to develop in individuals from the age of 14? Yes, these 15 to 24 years old people, this is the age group where a lot of us, greatest bobo, this is where a lot of us fall under. And like I keep saying, I've been hammering on this. Students are failing at keeping up with their mental health. There's an increasing number of suicide victims, and it usually falls within this demographic. And in Nigeria, there's a high level of stigmatization. And according to a psychologist, tertiary institutions don't have the adequate infrastructure to aid learning and then to even be able to help students cope with their mental health. For me, I'm very fortunate to be in the uni that I'm in because we have those services, but still not very many people know. So there's a 600 level student of medicine and surgery at the University of Ilorin. His name is Winner, and he started what he called a mentally conscious campus by training students to have basic counseling and also to train students to serve as mental health first aiders to give help to people who are in need. And he said that they're able to train people to administer talk therapy and carry out mental health awareness. I've been stressing on this fact for the longest time. It is important that people are aware because we can't begin to curb stigmatization and solve all the numerous mental health problems when people are not aware. And also, they were able to refer other people to professionals at no cost at all. So you see this thing that Winner did, I believe that it will be possible to replicate it in campuses all over Nigeria. When I came in 100 level, I volunteered with an initiative on campus to create awareness for mental health right from 100 level. And we didn't just limit our activities to the campus, we also did secondary school awareness as well. And having these initiatives replicated, it'll go a long way because we can't depend on, let's say, the psychology departments of all the universities to do this. We can't depend solely on NGOs to do this all across Nigeria. We can't depend on the government all the time to do all of this. We can do it ourselves. In conclusion, today's mental health tip will be to have coping skills. And the coping skill I'll be emphasizing on is prioritizing. Prioritize everything. Nothing beats that. You know what you're in uni for? First of all, academic work. School politics can come under making friends and having a nice time. Prioritize. It will save you a lot of mental stress. And it will also save you from failing academically. Until next time, bye.